Hey everybody, it's King Gladu here, and welcome to my Master 1 Red Dragon Archfiend Centurion Bystial deck list. First thing I want to say real quick is thank you to everybody who supported me throughout this month. Um, I didn't really expect Malice format to be the one that I would actually get back to Master 1 after having 3 months of struggles to actually reach this point. Um, just happens that RDA's end board actually plays really well into Malice, and with enough silver bullets and really just enough attempts, you kind of can almost do this with what feels like any real competent deck. Anyway, so let's get into the deck list. Just so you know, Instagram has an update now where you can do 3 minute long videos, so we can actually take a little time, but we're going to still be moving fast. For the main engine, of course, we're on the one Synchron and the one Crimson Resonators. Massive playmakers to the deck. You have to have these in order to get your maximum end board. I really wish RDA would have had just a little bit of a slightly different lock on it, because otherwise, I really believe that this deck would be a top tier contender. If Crimson Resonator didn't lock you into Dark Dragon Synchro Monster specifically to do anything with this card. We're playing the two Vision. Three of them could possibly be played if you're playing higher Bystial count, but this is kind of a soft brick if you don't have the correct hand to actually optimally use it. Same thing with Two Soul. The biggest problem with resonators, guys, is you can't see multiple resonators in your hand, and especially you don't want dual copies of them, because God forbid you open up Two Soul and no other starters, you're just praying they didn't open up a single negate. We're playing Three Bone Archfiend because this is the one half card starter for the deck. You have to discard something from your hand, but this gets you to at least Abyss plus Pater, and if you have any combination of other cards, you can get a lot more out of it. The one Overloop, this is the grind game for the deck. This allows you to banish off your Dark Dragon Synchros to then revive later with Zone and Pater. This allows you also get your maximum end board. So yeah, it's going to be important that you play it for maximum value. We're playing the three sweeper. With so much draw in the format, I actually chose to drop Call recently. Depending on kind of how this next format shapes up with Ryziel, I might add Call back in just to have that consistency. But Sweeper is basically Call and also has extra value because with Centurion, you can just have this as a free 5 body if you have the field spell up, and it's also a dark monster you can pitch to assess up your Bystials. Speaking of which, your other searcher is Crimson Gaia. Another card you could possibly play at 3, but because the hard once per turn search, seeing multiples in your hand are not great, and you can find it with Vision. This card is amazing. I'm so glad that Konami gave us a pretty custom searcher, because Jesus Christ, Konami Resonators needed this in a way that you don't even understand. And lastly, for the main engine Resonator, we have Red Zone. It's a pop if you control Red Dragon Archfiend or a Synchro that mentions it, which is just amazing. It's reactive too, so it does play better in certain scenarios. And of course, this is also recursion thanks to Uvalu. Um, for the let's go into Centurion next. We're playing the one of Primera, Trudea, and Atri, and then we're also going to be playing the three Stand Up, the three Oath, Wake Up, and Phalanx. Um, I truly believe you've got to be playing three Centurion names at this point in this deck. Atri being a tuner and non-tuner gives really niche scenarios that allow you to actually play through scenarios of interruption. Being a tuner or a non-tuner, this can turn a interrupted Bone Archfiend into at least an RDA if you have your normal summon still available. This also turns any Bestial into a Barone, a Pater, or any other 10 that you really could use. Um, it's such a flexible card, and if you get the setup with having an Oath and a Centurion card in the graveyard, you get an additional draw of return, which when you're playing an obscene amount of hand traps, it's just great value. Of course, Stand Up is phenomenal. This card just helps you play through so much interruption alongside Oath. Wake Up is kind of an interesting card. You have so many different niche scenarios you can actually use this card for, either as a pitch or as an extender. But at the end of the day, this card is really great and allows you to set up a bit of defensive play through Nibiru if you can get to the Centurion line early enough with Phalanx, because then you could just bring back Auxilla using Phalanx banish effect that you could then send off, that Wake Up would send off before that. For Bystials, we're playing a lighter Bystial package this month. The one Magnamut, the one Sereneer, two Druis, and one Baldric, plus one Lubellion and Regained. Regained is just going to get value no matter which way you do it, because it's either a threat that Mouse would have to remove, otherwise they risk losing a monster every time they banish something. It's also just revival for your Bystials. It's draw power if the banish return resolves, which could draw you into a hand trap. You know, and then Serenir is just the second copy of Lubellion I would be playing, but having a hand trap is much more valuable than having an additional starter in this current format. Um, Now, for hand traps, we have quite an extensive loadout on hand traps this month because if you can stop Malice from playing, you have a chance. If they get to go off, you're probably not winning the game unless you're Tempai, who opens up like 6 breakers. So yes, we're playing 3 Valor into a Dormouse normal with no traps. This card can win the matchup sometimes, but of course, Malice is one of those decks where if they just draw gas, they're going to draw gas. So Valor being alive as well helps set up a lot of great extension through your Bystials, and also you could just pitch it later. There's just lots of good things you can do with it. Of course, we have Max C and Ash Blossom. You got to have those. Bell is not underrated in this format, but I highly suggest it in RDA in specific. I have a video or I have a little post covering that as well. But this card's amazing. You should be playing 3 of it right now. You got to have it. We're playing the 3 Fulos because this does limit Malice's board in a way that makes it manageable if it resolves, because they can't give you too many draws. Otherwise, they risk having their board broken, but they can still get into moderate amount of plays. I would probably be playing Meowls if we had it available over Artifact Lancia right now, because I decided to go 3 this towards the end of the climb because it was Malice or Tempai. And I'd much rather not all lose going second against Malice than have a chance going first against Tempai, if that makes sense. Of course, we're playing the 2 Nibiru. This could probably be 3, but Nibiru just doesn't work well in the Tempai, so hence I was playing 2 of them because, again, don't want to lose to Malice. You got 2 Call by the Grave and 1 Cross Out. Those are just automatic, and playing the 3 Imperm. Extra deck, 2 Red Rising. This commonly comes up. You do want 2 because sometimes you have to re-extend through interruption, or you need to have it available to potentially set up plays. I have a little niche one on my recent replay you can check out. I play 2 of the original RDA because there are enough times where having the 3 rotating bodies between Scarred and the 2 original RDAs that allow you to win the grind game when nothing else would have. And so this is why I play 3. You could have possibly cut 1 because Recursion does work well in this deck. For another slot, you could maybe play Quibelt in this spot if you get interrupted, but my philosophy on that I can explain later. I am playing the 1 Scarlight because if you get the absolute maximum board, Scarlight will be an auto end on, and this card has won me more games than I think I could count just because it's a board wipe with monster destruction and also gets you battle damage. Primus is your Emblema access. You can get this usually off of a Bystial plus Vision. You get into full combo, plus you can search Gaia. It's crazy. And you can pop a card on your opponent's field. It helps break boards. Amazing card. Thank you again, Konami. The 1 of Abyss. Can't say enough about this guy. Love this dragon to death. Just wish we had an easier way to access it that didn't require a Resonator full combo. Barone is the best level 10 synchro that's generic you can make. Hands down, bar none. Just having this in the extra deck wins you games. Dispater, again, auto-include Red Dragon Archfiend. Amazing card. Chaos Angel, this card I actually considered cutting for a minute because Chaos Angel, it's not good against Malice back row, but against Monster Malice, they just don't have an answer to it. So if they can't remove it with their trap, you just have a way to grind through Malice. So it's kind of one of those cards that feels great when it's winning and kind of feels mediocre when you're losing. Of course, Supernova, the free royal. Thanks again, Konami. Love this dragon, my favorite dragon. Crimson Dragon, of course, because Centuriom, and this allows you to bring out Supernova for ease. Legacia is one of those amazing cards where it's a draw and then a pop, so it does get negated by Ash Blossom, but good God, drawing into a hand trap in this format can literally mean the difference between winning and losing. And of course, Auxilia, your bridge between the 2 archetypes. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, a comment, a share, follow the page. I appreciate the support. Hopefully, y'all had a great month of grinding. Let's see what next month brings. Thanks, guys.